Could there be a more worthy topic to explore? It is a bold venture, this one. Risky, too. And this is precisely because there is much about silence that can't be gotten around, and that therefore calls for a different kind of approach. And a different kind of language, from what one tends to find in psychological inquiry. This doesn't mean that Olga has wholly abandoned more traditional forms of psychological inquiry. Some of the issues she explores in the book, such as silencing others or documenting silences in the flow of conversation, call for such forms. She therefore adopts the social scientist mode and draws upon her extensive training as a researcher and therapist to speak to these issues. Other times, such as when she is exploring silence and our emotional world, or silence and discernment, call for different forms. For these, she becomes a poet or a philosopher. Rather than having method come first, the phenomena take the lead. This requires deep attention to the realities of concern and vigilant calibrating and recalibrating of method, so as to ensure that they receive the treatment she deems most fitting and appropriate. I very much admire this versatility and pluralism of perspective. But let me return to Olga's voice and the humble, welcoming sensibility that informs it. With a topic like silence, one doesn't want to speak too loudly or authoritatively. Rather, one needs to speak with a voice that somehow bears within it the reality at hand. In the present case, this means speaking gently. It means using language in a way that allows the listener not just to understand, but to feel and to sense what's ultimately at stake, which here is precisely what exists beyond language, waiting, silently, to be disclosed. Seen from one angle, Olga is carrying out what I have called poetic science. She is using language artfully in the service of scientific knowing and understanding. Seen from another angle, however, Olga is in the process of crafting a form of language that blurs the very boundaries between scientific knowing and poetic knowing, as well as between more formal forms of inquiry, of the sort generally found in psychology and those forms of inquiry that are part and parcel of life itself. This is nothing new for her. As she herself writes in the epilogue, "More than a mindset, the soul set of this book integrates the self-exploration quest that has accompanied me since I was a young girl, and the fieldwork attitude that I adopted when falling in love with qualitative psychology."